Hello learners and welcome to Modern World 2, and this week we're going to talk about why was Germany blamed for World War I, and this is week 4. Okay, so this week we're completing checkpoint number 2, why was Germany blamed for World War I, and again request a content assessment when you feel prepared. I've had a couple learners take it, which is wonderful. We just need to get more learners going through the focus area and completing the content assessment. Okay, so the essential question this week is how can peace lead to war? And again, our SLP overview, you have the Treaty of Versailles, and then you have your checkpoints, and then your final projects. And again, the course breakdown, we're going to be looking at completing 5 projects, and we're currently on the Treaty of Versailles. Okay, here's another picture. As you can look, as we're going through here, this is an older view. I should take another snapshot, but you can see that the line is moving and you should be keeping up with the line. Okay, so you can see it right here, and we're in September now, so you can see we're working our way through the Treaty of Versailles. Okay, if you go into, actually let me go back here. If you go into the power focus area, you can go in and you can take your diagnostic, your materials, you go in and you look at your objectives. I can see check marks beside if you looked at the content or not. And then again, why was Germany blamed for World War II? So you go in, you're going to be writing an argumentative claim with supporting evidence in response to supporting question for this. So, why were they blamed? And you'll go in and you'll look at documents, the graphic organizer. And I found some videos here. It kind of talks about the war a little bit and the Treaty of Versailles. So I thought we should play these here. They're pretty short.
The Treaty of Versailles, 1919. World War I officially came to an end with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles on June 28, 1919. 32 countries had come together in Paris in January 1919 to hold a conference which would make peace after the First World War. It would be dominated by the Big Three: David Lloyd George, representing Britain, George Clemenceau, representing France, and Woodrow Wilson, representing the USA. Germany was not invited. The Big Three wanted different things for Germany and disagreed on how harshly they were to be punished, reflecting how their countries were treated in the war. They had to negotiate with each other until there was a compromise. This was difficult because Wilson was opposed to harsh punishment for Germany. The USA had not been involved in the war as long as Britain and France, and had not received as much damage. He wanted to prevent another world war by creating the League of Nations based on his 14 points, to ensure Germany would not be destroyed, and that Germany shouldn't be blamed for the war. Clemenceau's aims were the harshest of the three, representing the damage Germany had done to France's land and people, and its threatening proximity. He wanted revenge and to punish Germany, to return Alsace-Lorraine to France, an independent Rhineland, no League of Nations, Germany to pay huge reparations for the damage and losses caused, the disbandment of the German army so that Germany would never be strong enough to attack France again. Lloyd George was an in-between. This reflected Britain, which had little land damage, but high war losses. He wanted a punishment that would be tough enough to please those who wanted to make Germany pay, but would leave Germany strong enough to still trade. Land for Britain's empire, to safeguard Britain's naval supremacy. When the Treaty of Versailles was ready, Germany was shown the document, but there was no negotiation. Their rebuttal ignored. On 28 June 1919, the delegates met at the Hall of Mirrors in the Palace of Versailles near Paris and forced 2 German representatives to sign it. See Part 2 to learn.
Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea of how the different countries felt about creating the peace with Germany and where they wanted to go from there. And then this is actually the second part, which I liked as well. So we're going to play this here.
The Treaty of Versailles, 1919. The terms of the Treaty of Versailles can be divided into 3 groups: territorial, military, and financial and economic. Here are some of the territorial terms. Alsace-Lorraine was returned to France. Germany was forbidden to unite with Austria. Lands in East Germany, including the farmlands of Posen and the Polish corridor between East Germany and East Prussia, were given to Poland. The Saar, which had rich coal fields, were given to France for 15 years. All Germany's colonies were taken and given to France and Britain as mandates. Here are some of the military terms. The German army was restricted to only 100,000 men. The Navy could now only have 6 battleships and no submarines, and there was to be no air force allowed. The Rhineland was demilitarized. This meant the German army could not go to this area between France and Germany. For the financial and economic terms, Germany would have to pay reparations, which would eventually be set at an enormous 132 billion gold marks. On top of this, Germany was not allowed to join the League of Nations, and it had to accept responsibility for causing all the damage and loss by the war. Overall, the Treaty of Versailles was unpopular with Germany and its creators. Its terms would go on to be reversed by Germany in both secret and in the open by Hitler, and help cause World War II. Watch our other videos.
Okay, so hopefully that gives you an idea of why some of the things go for why Germany was to blame, and what came out of the entire war, and the people of Germany being upset because not everybody, was in favor of the war, and not everybody was involved in the war. And, they felt that the citizens, were not getting, what they deserved out of this. So when Hitler came to power, people, it was a weak state of Germany, and, they were looking for people to blame for the war. And when Hitler rose up, people were willing to listen to him, and, they wanted payback for what had happened to them and what was taken from them. Okay, so hopefully keep that in mind as you go through this lesson. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Again, there's resources under Google Classroom, my Zoom links in there, the pace chart, the sessions, and of course the questions each week. Okay, any questions, reach out to me. Have a wonderful week. Bye.